Welcome to the River Street Reconstruction presentation on the Carl Barron Plaza design process and concepts. We invite you to submit feedback following the presentation. We will provide further instructions on how to do that toward the end of the presentation. The design process and concepts presented in this video have been developed through feedback from a robust community process over the past 2.5 years. City staff has had ongoing engagement with the community through a combination of public engagement activities. This includes River Street Stakeholder Working Group meetings, public meetings, in-person tabling at Carl Barron Plaza, site walks, and virtual engagement. This presentation, online questionnaire, and live Q&A session taking place on June 22nd represent a next major step in the public engagement for the project. This presentation's focus is on the design process and concepts for Carl Barron Plaza, located at the intersection of River Street and Massachusetts Avenue. The purpose of the presentation is for you to understand the process of advancing design concepts for Carl Barron Plaza, see the primary and alternate design concepts, sculptural ribbon, and complementary structures, learn about plaza design elements, know where to provide your questions and feedback. Before we review the concepts, we wanted to highlight a few key design considerations based on feedback we've heard along the way. I won't read these in detail, but the design wants to be inclusive, activated, safe, flexible, attractive, comfortable, multimodal, functional, and all-season. A few design givens for the plaza include direct pedestrian routes through and around the plaza, 8-foot minimum, maximize tree plantings and green space, provide flexible plaza areas for a variety of activities, transit shelters at all 3 transit stop areas, MBTA operator's booth with visibility to all 3 bus stops and layover area, bus boarding areas, 8-foot minimum clear zone, separated bicycle facility, 6'6" minimum, and a relocated Carl Barron Memorial within the plaza. Over the last 6 months, we've been working closely with the city's design staff, as well as the Central Square Business Improvement District and other stakeholders who have shared this additional design guidance. Establish Carl Barron Plaza as a focal point, be bold, creative, playful, and whimsical, provide enough height to be visible from a distance, but also at a pedestrian scale. Use repetition to strengthen the visual unity of the plaza, build in capacity for placemaking, functionality, and programming, apply lighting effects and color to enhance vibrancy, and represent the diversity and artistic culture of the Central Square community. There are a significant number of utilities and other constraints within the site, so key design features and tree plantings had to be strategically placed to work around them. Now we're going to show you a few inspirational images of similar projects that helped inform the development of the proposed concepts. These first 2 images introduce the notion of using repetitive sculptural light columns and bench underlighting as a means of unifying the design. These images are examples of introducing a dynamic sculptural form to serve as that unifying element. We're also intrigued by introducing lighting into the feature, similar to the image on the left, to extend the impact of the structure into the evening hours. One of the options we're going to share introduces a pergola structure, defining a shaded gathering area. The random slatting in the left image is similar to the proposed aesthetic. In certain areas, planters or lean rails are used to separate bike and pedestrian circulation and limit the mixing of bicycle and pedestrian traffic. Finally, we plan to introduce both flexible and fixed seating. The fixed sculptural seating features on the left offer unique gathering opportunities and year-round interest, while the flexible furniture on the right can be stacked and removed to accommodate other programming opportunities. Here are some images of how the space can be activated from day-to-day activities like chess, street performers, or bringing in a coffee truck, to larger events like flea or farmers markets. And finally, we can activate the space through the winter months by introducing festive lighting or planned events that could include activities like ice carving. We've received a lot of feedback around how we can best represent the diversity and artistic culture of the Central Square community. There's an eclectic, robust culture celebrating all forms of artistic expression, and the proposed design needs to be equally as engaging and dynamic. And of course, we need to include typical plaza furnishings like bike racks, trash receptacles, and water fill stations, as well as the Carl Barron Plaza monument. In addition, another element the project team has heard in the public process is the desire for wayfinding signage to help orient transit riders. Many people are unsure of where bus stops are on River Street, Green Street, and Mass Ave, or are making transfers between buses or the Red Line subway. The map on the right identifies key locations where transit wayfinding signs might help riders get to the right bus stop. This is just one element of an overarching wayfinding system for Central Square and the Carl Barron Plaza area. While the transit wayfinding elements would be incorporated into this project, the overarching wayfinding system would be studied as part of future city-led project initiatives. As part of this project, the city is also studying the potential to incorporate a public information kiosk somewhere within Carl Barron Plaza. The kiosk has the potential to display real-time transit information, community news or events, cultural destinations, and social service information. The city is looking to identify potential locations within the plaza, along with establishing programming, operating, and maintenance responsibilities. Now, a little background information about the Carl Barron Plaza site. On the screen, you see a plan with River Street going from left to right at the top, Mass Ave on the right, and Green Street on the left. North is to the upper right. The primary pedestrian circulation is shown in orange, with bike circulation in turquoise on a new separated bike lane. The purple dots here indicate what we've named our ribbon of continuity. This ribbon of continuity is a plaza element or series of repetitive features that can serve to unify the elongated plaza space that wraps around the two sides of the Holmes building. The red hatched areas are the primary plaza spaces, and the orange asterisk represents the idea of a focal feature or structure in the main plaza space along Mass Ave. In the orange hatched areas, we show two locations for bus shelters near the corner of Green and River Streets. We also plan for an additional bus shelter on Green Street at Magazine Street. Finally, the proposed tree locations you see here are consistent in both proposed options. As we noted, the project team will show two concepts that we developed based on feedback from various stakeholders. We're calling them the sculptural ribbon concept and the complementary structures concept. To date, the working group and other stakeholders have shown a preference for the sculptural ribbon concept. Generally speaking, the consensus was that this sculptural ribbon concept exemplified the dynamic nature of the Central Square community. We'll now show you some views of this plaza concept. To orient everyone, Mass Ave is on the right of the image, with River Street on top and Green Street on the left. The bus stops will be where they're shown on River Street and Green Street. The separated bike lane is shown in dark gray running parallel with River Street, with primary pedestrian paths shown in light beige gray running parallel with the bike lane and Mass Ave. This view looks back at the plaza from above the intersection of River and Green Streets. As you can see, the option introduces a bold, colorful sculpture that serves to unify the somewhat elongated plaza as it wraps around the Holmes building. It offers seating opportunities as it touches down and breathes whimsy into the space as it rises up overhead and meanders through the site. The color shown is a placeholder. We've also maximized tree planting in this option, offering shaded gathering opportunities throughout the plaza. From the primary access point at Green Street end of the plaza, simple bus shelters frame the gateway, and repetitive light columns are introduced to draw you further into the site. Looking back towards the Green Street entrance, the sculptural ribbon rises up overhead and touches back down for one of the many seating opportunities along its length. To the right is the separated bike lane, with lean rails introduced to reduce mixing of pedestrian and bicycle traffic. The small shaded gathering area straight ahead would be populated with flexible furnishings. One thing to note is that we're investigating the potential for introducing variety into the feature over time. With contributions from local artists, the patterning on the sculpture could potentially be changed periodically and is thus illustrated within this presentation in a variety of colors and patterns. As one rounds the corner of the Holmes building, the plaza opens up to the largest gathering space. Colorful, flexible furnishings are introduced under the ribbon structure in the Mass Ave end of the plaza, which could be temporarily removed as desired to accommodate larger programmed events. In the lower right-hand corner, you can see a platform seating feature has been introduced that can double as a stage for larger events. The ribbon of continuity extends into the primary plaza space, unifying both ends of the elongated plaza. As the ribbon touches down in the plaza, it widens at the base to offer seating on both directions, with seat backs and armrests in certain locations. Introducing backlit perforated metal on the underside of the ribbon accentuates the form and extends the impact of the structure into the evening hours. And adding underlighting to the points where the structure touches down provides the illusion that the sculpture is floating. Another view of the main plaza space with the ribbon arching up overhead, framing views into the site, and serving as a catalyst for ongoing programming and activation. From here, we'll show some images of the complementary structures concept. The general layout of the complementary structures concept is the same as the sculptural ribbon concept. The key differences are that this concept has a pergola structure in the Mass Ave end of the plaza and relies on repetitive light columns as another unifying element. The intent is that the MBTA bus shelters would be a similar design vocabulary as the pergola structure, anchoring both ends of the plaza. Again, looking back at the plaza from above the intersection of River and Green Streets, you can start to see the similarities in the texture between the pergola structure and the bus shelters. Along the primary circulation route, repetitive light columns and lean rails are introduced to help unify the elongated plaza space. We've maximized tree planting in this concept as well to provide shaded gathering opportunities throughout the plaza. From the primary access point at the Green Street end of the plaza, simple bus shelters frame the gateway and repetitive light columns are introduced to draw you further into the site. A view looking back towards the Green Street entrance. To the right is a separated bike lane with lean rails introduced again to limit mixing of pedestrian and bicycle traffic within the plaza. A small shaded gathering area straight ahead would be populated with sculptural seating features. Flexible furnishings are introduced under the pergola structure, which could be temporarily removed as desired to accommodate larger programmed events. In the lower right-hand corner, you can see a platform seating feature that could double as a stage for larger events. Additional fixed seating elements, like the long communal bench and sculptural seats beyond, are introduced to provide spatial definition to the plaza and add year-round interest. The sculptural light columns extend into the plaza space as a primary unifying feature. At night, the light columns, bench, and lean rail underlighting unify the design while emphasizing primary circulation routes. Additional lighting incorporated in the pergola structure, communal bench, and sculptural seating features add vibrancy to the plaza in the evening hours. In summary, within the preferred design concepts, we've introduced a robust tree canopy, repetitive lighting and/or sculptural elements to unify the design, richly textured ground plane to enhance plaza unification, combination of fixed and flexible furnishings to accommodate event programming, simple, elegant bus shelters that complement the overall plaza design, and capture the spirit and vibrancy of the Central Square community with a bold expression. Now that you've watched this video presentation, here's how you can give us your feedback. Tell us what you think by answering a few questions on the design concepts. If you're viewing this video within the StoryMap Interactive Project webpage, scroll down on the page and to view the survey questions and tell us what you think of our concept designs. If you're viewing the presentation outside of the StoryMap, visit http://bit.ly/CBP open house to provide input. We also invite you to join City staff for a live virtual Q&A session on Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. We will replay this presentation at 5:30 p.m., followed by a live Q&A starting at 6 p.m. City staff will address pre-submitted questions and live questions. To submit a question in advance, email riverstreet@cambridgema.gov. You can register for the live virtual Q&A session on the project webpage at www.cambridgema.gov/riverstreet. Join us for our next public meeting planned for September 2021, where City staff will review the final designs for the River Street Corridor and Carl Barron Plaza. Visit the project website at cambridgema.gov/riverstreet to learn more and stay up to date on the latest project information. Thank you for reviewing this presentation. We hope you will submit your input and join us on June 22nd.